Okay, welcome everyone. This video is going to be a little bit of a abnormality. This is going to be the very first part of the Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes playthrough, the main game. I say it's kind of an odd video because I actually already completed the game that you'll be able to see in the later videos, but I forgot to go through the backstory and the audio logs. So this will be the first part that you're watching now, obviously, and then the second and third part is just me going through the game. So this is kind of a prelude or a prelude slash epilogue to my my playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zero. And pretty much all we're going to be doing now, the only thing left to do, for me anyway, is to go over the backstory and the data log cassette tapes. So that's what we'll be doing, and hope you guys enjoy. Connecting the server again. Great. Alright, let's get through the backstory. Just to let everyone know, I have not played Peace Walker, so this is going to help explain to me as well what happened between Metal Gear Solid 3 and Peace Walker. From what I understand, that's where this game takes place. Metal Gear Solid 3 and Peace Walker. I definitely know it's after 3 because he has the eye patch, which happens in Metal Gear Solid 3 is when he gets his eye fucked up. Holy shit, what is taking so long? Metal Gear loading. Okay. It just brought me back to the main menu. What the fuck just happened? Am I not allowed to see the backstory after I've beaten the game? What the fuck is going on? Seriously? Wow, dude, what the fuck? Alright, let's try to reboot the game. No, I don't want to do that, no. Oh my god. No. Let's try to reboot the game. Close application. That's bullshit. If you beat the game, you can't read the backstory? Oh my god. I see, the thing is, I didn't even know... Well, I mean, I know there's a backstory, but I didn't know that would fucking happen. If you beat the game, you can't read it again. That's stupid. Why would they make it so you can't read it again? That makes no sense. Ugh. Oh, okay. So that was just fucked up. The game just, I don't know, bugged out or anything. Alright. So this is the backstory. For us, there is no victory, Snake. There lived a man who was a legend among mercenaries, a man who put together a formidable unit of soldiers of fortune long before the advent of private military companies that dared to call itself a nation. A man, with his nation at his back, made an enemy modern capitalist society and the world. This is his story. We're not mercenaries. We're not foreign legion. MSF business, a new kind of business. Miller. Known by codenames such as Snake and later Big Boss, he proved himself as an agent of U.S. Special Forces Unit Fox, but with a certain incident spurred him to part ways with the military, and he said to have roamed the world's war zones as a gun for hire. In 1974, Snake and his partner Kazuhira Miller. I'm sorry to say, but the guy doesn't look Japanese or anything, but okay, whatever. We're running a small mercenary outfit in Colombia when they were visited by a man claiming to be a professional from Costa Rica University for Peace. According to this professor, there had been several incidents involving a mysterious armed group in Costa Rica, a country without a military of its own. The professor was accompanied by one of his students, a girl named Paz, who has been abducted and assaulted by this group. The professor and Paz offered to hire Snake to drive the group out of Costa Rica. However, Snake saw through their deception in an instant. My name is Paz, and I will do anything to protect my namesake. The professor was actually a KGB agent, and the armed group in question backed by the CIA. The Cold War was no stranger to such overseas clandestine operations between U.S. and Soviet agents, but the CIA's motives were a mystery. Paz had escaped from one of the CIA group's facilities with a cassette tape. On it was the voice of the woman known as the Mother of Special Forces, the Boss. With a popular song from the 1973 playing in the background, it was reasonable to conclude that the recording was made recently. Snake was stunned. The Boss was supposed to be dead. What was she doing in Costa Rica? I'll do it for the girl, for Paz. Snake. The Boss was Snake's mentor, and the only woman he had ever loved for 10 years prior. Snake was forced to take the boss's life as part of the mission, a bitter memory that still haunted him. Despite realizing that she simply could not have survived, Snake was unable to turn the professor down, telling himself he was intervening as a deterrent from the defenseless country, as well to honor the virtue of Paz's name, Peace. Snake departed for Costa Rica. Once there, he ran into the unit of the Sandinista National Liberation Front that had fled Nicaragua. After rising up against the pro-American Somoza regime, those rebels had become targets for the CIA, who killed their commandant and left the units in shambles. Everyone treats me like a child. I couldn't stand it anymore. Chico. Snake rescued the Sandinistas and invited them back to the mother base, the new offshore base of operations provided to them by the KGB. The fallen commandant's children, Amanda and Chico, saw something of their hero Che Guevara in Snake and grew to idolize him. This triggered a rapid expansion of Snake's forces. However, he was still no closer to discovering that the CIA was really what the CIA was really up to in Costa Rica. I believe in peace through nuclear deterrency. Hugh. Snake then encountered Hugh, a wheelchair-bound scientist being forced to work for the CIA. Hugh revealed the CIA's terrifying plot. They were developing a system by which, following radar detection of enemy nuclear launch, an AI would analyze all available data and automatically execute a retaliatory nuclear strike at appropriate targets. Although designed to increase the power of nuclear deterrency, Coldman, the CIA's Central American Station chief, planned to actually launch a nuke to demonstrate the effectiveness of automated retaliation. This demonstration was only 5 days away. Snake rushed to the development lab to stop their AI from being completed. You've left everything behind. Your country, your identity, your past and ideals, but there's still one thing you haven't let go of. Miller. Yes, I will never let go of you, Miller. You are my heart and soul. I love you. Upon infiltrating the lab, Snake was greeted by the voice from the tape, that same voice of his lost mentor. But this was in fact the voice of the retaliatory system AI. Its developer, Dr. Strangelove, had selected the boss, the so-called greatest soldier who ever lived, as the AI's intellectual model. However, succumbing to personal obsession, Strangelove had deviated from the research original purpose. Not only had she reproduced the boss's voice, she was on the verge of bringing her psyche back to life in AI form, driven by a bizarre kind of love. What if the boss could truly be revived in every detail, if only in AI form? Snake hesitated at Strangelove's idea, his sense of loss. Ugh. His guard down, Snake was immediately captured. The boss's AI was completed, and Peace Walker, the nuclear-equipped walking battle tank housing the retaliatory AI system, went active. Holy shit. So I never played Peace Walker, but apparently there was a giant AI nuclear weapon that had artificial intelligence voiced by Boss, which was Big Boss's mentor. That's fucking insane, dude. That makes me want to play Peace Walker. That must have been a crazy-ass game. I was made to fight. I am a gun. Snake. Snake fought in vain as Peace Walker prepared to fire the nuke. But in the face of catastrophe, it was ultimately a machine that saved mankind from nuclear annihilation. The boss AI sank Peace Walker to the bottom of Lake Nicaragua, stopping the launch. Geez, spoiler alert. Guess I know the ending now. With the crisis behind him, Snake took advantage of his recent mobilization to continue Mother Base expansion indefinitely. Snake understood that the AI had acted to save the world, but that did not change the fact that this system, based on the boss's mind, had chosen at last to lay down its weapon as a weapon himself. Snake felt the act to be a rejection of his life. Undeterred, Snake and Miller invited Dr. Hugh and Strangelove to Mother Base to develop Metal Gear Zeke, a bipedal weapon that would eventually equipped with a nuclear warhead, suddenly making their unit a nuclear power. This place will no longer be my heaven. Pause. Meanwhile, Mother Base took in Pause, already an orphan, but now left without even her KGB benefactor. Following the end of the crisis, however, this was all engineered by an intelligence agency known as Cypher. Under Cypher's orders, Pause got close to Amanda, Chico, and the others while exploring more and more of the base, secretly plotting to hijack Zeke. Her objective was to use the weapon as a bargaining chip to force Snake into becoming the military arm for Cypher. Pause's attempts failed when Snake defeated Zeke, and she was thrown beneath the waters of the Caribbean. It was only then that Snake learned Chico had fallen in love with her. A diary she kept while on the base was discovered several days later. It revealed a young girl torn between serving Cypher and following her heart. So this character, Chico and Paz, I guess they were major characters in the Peace Walker game. This is Chico. Cypher's holding me on the U.S. military base in Cuba. Chico. Perhaps due to Paz revealing the existence of Snake's nuke to Cypher, the International Atomic Energy Agency contacted Mother Base to request that it agree to a nuclear inspection. If word got out that Snake's unit had a nuclear weapon, it would face severe criticism from around the world, but Hugh, acting on his own, informed the IAEA, whatever the fuck that is. Oh my god, EA is in this game. That Mother Base would allow the inspection. Her reasoning was that as long as they kept Zeke and its nuke hidden from the inspectors, they could demonstrate to the international community that they were not a threat. The option to call off the inspection having expired, Snake and his men reluctantly got preparations underway. Meanwhile, Amanda deployed to Cuba to assist Sandinistas. Learned that Paz had survived. The timing could not have been worse. Suspecting her of turning her back on the organization, Cypher had captured Paz and was interrogating her at the U.S. military base on the southern tip of Cuba. Chico learned of this and set out to save Paz by himself. It was not long before a radio message from Chico reached Mother Base saying he too had been captured. I know it hurts right now, but it will all be over soon. Pause. With an idea as to Cypher's true identity, Snake could not allow what Chico and Paz knew to fall into their hands. Furthermore, he could not rescue Paz. He might be able to get information from her that would help him fight back against Cypher. On the eve of nuclear inspection, Snake made the decision to leave for Cuba. Alright. Yeah. So, basically, now I already played the game, so I already know the storyline within Ground Zeroes anyway. Spec Ops missions I don't think count for anything, those are just fun. But the main mission, Ground Zero, I understand it makes more sense to me now why he was there. I don't want to give out any spoilers because obviously this is part 1, but now it makes more sense to me. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is go through the cassette tapes. Alright, I'll just play all.
This is a one-man infiltration mission, boss. Equipment is the bare essentials. Anything else will be OSP. The target location is a prison camp on a U.S. military base. Those Marines have the place locked down tight. Your only backup will be one extraction chopper. We can't send anything else.
You won't need to.
Again, this is infiltration, a sneaking mission. Your #1 priority is remaining undetected. Use discretion before engaging any guards you encounter. Be mindful of their sensory perceptions: sight, sound, smell, and pain. Fortunately, these atmospheric conditions will continue until dawn. That should provide you with some cover.
At least the weather's on my side.
I can't get rid of that voice, man.
Your mission objective is to rescue Chico and Paz. According to Chico, they're both being held at an old prison facility. Recon from the intel unit supports this, so it's safe to assume that's where they are. Once you've gotten them to the RV, call in the extraction chopper. I'll monitor the situation and offer guidance from here, but you'll be the one in the field. How you handle this mission is entirely up to you, boss. Snake, yesterday we received official communication from the IAEA. It says, it has come to our attention that your organization recently purchased nuclear fuel from Uzbekistan authorities. We request permission to inspect your facilities.
What a load of bullshit.
Yeah, they're after Metal Gear Zeke's nuclear warhead. I'm betting this is payback from Cypher after Paz's leak.
Using the UN.
There's no telling how much influence they have. But the IAEA can only do inspections in countries that are party to the NPT.
And we're not a country.
Exactly. We haven't signed a safeguards agreement with the IAEA.
I can't get into this game, man.
Use, and we're not
Okay, I'll shut up until after the message.
We have, nor information about any nuclear facilities. The IAEA has no authority to inspect us.
But despite all that,
That nuke's our last line of defense. We don't want to announce we have it until the world is preparing to wipe us off the map. Until then, we let everyone think we're just a private army with conventional firepower.
what's Huey's take?
That the problem's how to hide the nuke in Metal Gear. But I gotta tell you, he was all for it.
I see. But there's no way we can have the IAEA poking around here.
So what do? Ignore them?
Send them an official letter of refusal. Say that we're a private organization and we've done nothing to attract this suspicion.
You got it.
Okay, I just want to pause this real quick. Kojima, what the fuck, man? I know I've gone. You guys are gonna see later in the videos, later in the playthrough, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but what the fuck, man? He's not even trying. Keith Sutherland, he's not even fucking trying to sound close like Snake. Now, I know Dave... oh my god. I know David Hayter wanted to be in this fucking game. And I know, for whatever fucking reason, Kojima said no. But I don't think he understands the gravity of Snake's voice and how, like... besides... yes, Snake, he looks awesome. He looks like Snake. He looks like Naked Snake, just from Metal Gear Solid 3 and the other iterations of Solid Snake. But without his voice, he's an empty shill. I'm fucking serious. What the fuck? Like, seriously. It really pisses me off because David Hayter, he is Solid Snake. He is Solid Snake. And I don't give a shit if Keith Sutherland is a good actor. He is not fucking Snake. I'm not a huge fanboy of Metal Gear Solid, but I really, okay, I'll say I'm not a major fanboy. I am a fanboy. Don't get me wrong. I am a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid. Since I've been playing them back in 1998, back on the PlayStation 1, playing all of them besides the side ones. I played all the main staples of Metal Gear Solid. And every time I hear David Hayter, every fucking time I hear his voice, I know it's Solid Snake. I do not think of Solid Snake when I hear Keith Sutherland. I don't hear it. And this isn't like another fucking actor trying to sound like David Hayter. This guy's not even fucking trying. I mean, for God's sakes, you could get Ego Raptor to fucking do David Hayter, to do Solid Snake. He's pretty much almost on par with David Hayter. He does a great job with the voice of Solid Snake. There are plenty of people on YouTube that I've watched that can do a Solid Snake impression. I'm sorry, I just got to get this off my chest because it's really pissing me off. It's just not the same. I don't understand why the fuck they did this. This game's already amazing, but why the fuck would you get rid of David Hayter? Fucking hell, man. This shit's not gonna stop too, man. I know when the Phantom Pain, I'm gonna be bitching up and down. In my personal opinion, Keith Sutherland will never be the true voice of Solid Snake, or Naked Snake, or any iteration of fucking Snake. And I don't mean to like shit on his legacy. Like I said, he's a great actor. I've seen. I don't watch 24, but I've seen him in movies. I know he's a great actor, but he is not Snake. And he definitely doesn't have the heart and the soul that David Hayter had going into Snake. Using David Hayter as his voice, you know for a fact David Hayter gave it his all every single game. He got into character. He knew exactly what he was doing. He cared about the games. Keith Sutherland here, it sounds phoned in. I'm going to be honest. It sounds phoned in. He's not even fucking trying. And I don't understand if it was Kojima's plan, if it was Kojima's idea, or Konami, or whoever the fuck decided to do the casting. They didn't do their fucking job right, because they could have got several different other actors other than Keith Sutherland to do fucking Solid Snake. And for them to keep hush-hush and act like, oh, nothing ever happened, we just don't want to have David Hayter giving out fucking excuses why David Hayter is not the fucking voice of Snake. Like, that's bullshit. I cannot believe that they didn't fucking, you know, publicly announce the reason why. They pretty much just lied to the fan base. They're just, I think Kojima said something like, oh, we wanted to, because Naked Snake is older now, and we want to have a different kind of voice for Solid Snake. You know, that doesn't matter. You already fucked up. If that was the case, you already fucked up, because we already had David Hayter do the voice of Old Snake from Metal Gear Solid 4. So there's no excuse to say that this Snake, just because he's older, that you should get a different voice actor, because that doesn't make any sense. That's being hypocritical. And this game came out before Metal Gear Solid 4 came out before this game, and you had David Hayter as the voice actor. So what the fuck? Like, seriously, what the fuck? Oh my god. I just hate when they do shit like this, man. You know, it wouldn't bother me so much if you were going to change the voice acting. Like, if this was a series that was well known to have several different voice actors throughout the installments, you know, throughout the franchise. If we had, you know, David Hayter, Keith Sutherland, any other voice actors, and it was consistent like this, but you can't just have a franchise that has so many fucking games under its belt, under the Metal Gear, the legacy of Metal Gear Solid, you know, every single game being David Hayter, and the guy's not dead. He wanted to be in the game. There's no fucking reason why he wasn't in the game. I heard speculation, or I don't know if this was rumors or whatever, but apparently I guess David Hayter went to Japan and he caused some shit with Kojima or something, and Kojima was basically like, fuck you, you're not going to be in the game. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't know if there's bad blood between David Hayter and Kojima, but, you know, from a business standpoint, I think Kojima should understand that in a Western audience, when it comes to gaming especially, we care about our voice actors. We have a lot. I mean, if you look at comic book TV shows, besides cartoons and stuff, we recognize voice actors, and, you know, they have high credentials. I don't say as high as, you know, actual actors, but, you know, people like Steve Blum, Jim Cummings, you know, I can't remember the guy that does Homer Simpson, but I'm just giving examples. The voice acting is very big in Western audiences, Western culture. And I honestly think they fucked up. Like, I honestly think Konami or Kojima or whoever the fuck is in charge, they fucked up. Because this is bullshit. He's not even trying. Like, seriously, he's not even fucking trying. Alright, I'm done. I just had to do a mini rant because I know people are watching this now. I know they're watching the part 1 now. And they're probably going to be a little bit confused of what's going on. But I just played through the entire game. And, you know, I really enjoyed myself because thank God I didn't have to hear fucking Snake speak. You know, hearing, besides grunting, and he said a couple of words. But now that I'm hearing the audio logs and we're actually hearing dialogue between his contact, his whoever he's talking to, his contact, to give him the debriefing and mission statements and all that shit, and he's actually talking back, it really is pissing me off. Like, seriously, it's really fucking annoying that they did this. And I don't even know if, like, if David Hayter's ever coming back. I mean, I think this is it, man. His voice makes up, like, 75% of Snake. Like, seriously, I mean, you can make Snake look as authentic as you want, but without David Hayter, it's not fucking Snake anymore. It's a guy pretending to be Snake. I don't know. People might say I'm being ridiculous or whatever, and I shouldn't be focusing, but I care about shit like this, man. I seriously do. I had the same problem with Silent Hill 2 when they were gonna fucking change the voice acting for that game. It sounded like complete shit. Like, I know that, I mean, James, yeah, pretty much just James. You know, the guy who did the voice acting, I mean, he was okay. But everyone else was just horrible. The voice acting was fucking horrible. Mary, the little girl even, it's absolute garbage. Absolute fucking garbage. Don't change the voice acting. Don't fix what's not broken. Now, that situation pissed me off a bit more than this situation, because there was actually no reason, because they already had the game. It was just an HD remake or remaster, whatever you want to get to. They did not need to do redo the voices for Silent Hill 2. It was, you know, they didn't have to do that shit at all. From what I heard, they didn't want to pay royalties to the original voice acting. And I actually talked to Guy Chi. I actually have him on my Facebook. He's the original voice actor for James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2. And, you know, that's what he told me. Or that's what he put in a post, and I talked to him. But he was actually a really cool guy, really nice guy. That they didn't want to pay royalties to the original voice actors. But I'm getting a little... I digress. Point is, don't fix what's not broken. There's no reason David Hayter's not fucking in this game. He wanted to be in this fucking game. I don't know what Kojima's doing. I don't know what Konami's doing. I don't know whoever the fuck is in charge of the selecting the cast and crew of the new Metal Gear Solid game. I don't even know if the Phantom Pain, man, if he's even going to try, because at this moment, he doesn't give a shit. Kiefer Sutherland, I'm sorry, man. Like, seriously, he's not... This is phoned in. He's not even trying. I can name a fucking shit ton of better voice actors than this guy right here. Seriously. If you can't get David Hayter, whichever the fuck reason, why not? I don't understand why you couldn't get him. He wanted to be in this game. I don't give a shit if there's bad blood. Not putting him in this game is just basically spitting right in the faces of all your fans. Because like I said, he is Solid Snake. David Hayter is fucking Solid Snake. You take him out, you have an empty shill. You just have a fucking... You might as well make him mute. Like, seriously, just make Snake mute. Like, don't even have him talk throughout the entire fucking game. Because I don't want to hear Kiefer Sutherland talk. Shitty fucking job. Absolute garbage. I'm sorry, you guys. I just had to get this off my chest. I see people joining the stream now. They're probably like, "Oh, what the fuck? This guy's raging." I'm sorry, man. It pisses me off because I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. I gotta express myself, man. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. The McMuffins. Yeah, I agree, man. McMuffin, he knows what I'm talking about. I don't know. Well, he says he thinks that I and Cass. Well, I mean, everyone has their own opinion. I respect that. I got my own opinion too, and you know, based off this demo, because this is what this is. It's basically an overpriced demo. Let's be real. He's not trying. Or if he is trying, you gotta get a different actor, man. I mean, this sounds hokey. This sounds like it's called in, and I don't like it. I seriously don't. Maybe the Phantom Pain will be better. I don't fucking know. I'm only talking about this now because I already beat the game, and like I said, he hardly talked throughout the game, so you know, whatever. Now that I can hear his voice, and it just pisses me off. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done venting. Let's get on through the tracks. If you just joined me on Twitch right now, I'm basically just going through all the audio logs, and this is why I'm kind of pissed off right now, because of hearing that, you know, hearing Kiefer Sutherland as Snake is just, it just makes me sad. It just makes me sad. Anyway, let's go on with the next one, I guess.
We finished Zeke's waterproofing reinforcement yesterday. The day after tomorrow we'll be
it's
installing
Otacon.
the main depth control tank, the compressed air tank, and the attitude control propeller pod.
Huey,
If the underwater test goes well, next week we'll try the 300-foot seabed depth.
drop the act, Huey. How did we end up agreeing to the nuclear inspection?
Because after you sent that letter, I told them. After careful reconsideration, we agree to your request. And frankly, we should be inspected. This is our chance. If they come and go without discovering the nuke, we can tell the world we're clean. Of course, it's risky, and we'll have to make sure everything's perfect, but it'll be worth it.
Huey, can they do an inspection without going through the Board of Governors?
We contacted the IAEA's admin branch, and they said there's no record of us being brought up at any of the board's meetings.
I'd say probably a preliminary inspection to determine whether we should be referred to the board. So it's bound to be a small inspection team, and they won't be here that long. Don't worry, leave everything to me.
Has the media gotten wind of this?
Yeah, 2 major Western networks want to do stories on us. I planned on saying yes.
What? You want to broadcast this place to the world?
That's why I agreed to the inspection. This is a golden opportunity. We can use the media to prove to the world we don't have a nuke. Besides, even if we said no, it would just be delaying the inevitable.
Kaz, our hands are tied now. Start getting the place ready.
Thanks, boss.
Don't get the wrong idea. You set it up so that any more changes of heart will arouse suspicion, that's all.
Zeke stays, but we'll have to move all other AFVs to shore. Any potential troublemakers can go with them for some mandatory R&R. Sound good, boss?
Just do it.
Alright, real quick. I'm not going to go over it again, because I guess you guys didn't join when I was ranting about actually bring up that topic that people in the on Twitch are mentioning. Kojima stated that they wanted Kiefer Sutherland because Snake is older, and I already discussed this earlier in my rant. If that was the case, then why did David Hayter voice Naked Snake in Metal Gear Solid 4? I mean, if that's what Kojima's saying, that kind of doesn't make sense. And you know, Snake has gone through several different generations, several different ages, and all that stuff. And they've always used David Hayter. I mean, I respect your guys' opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you give up valid reasons, but you can't just do that. You can't just get rid of David and expect there not to be a backlash. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get into it again because I already ranted about I ranted like half an hour about this about this shit. Maybe it makes more sense if I did actually play Peace Walker. I didn't. That's like the only Metal Gear Solid game I didn't play, which is kind of funny. because this is tied directly to Peace Walker. I know this takes place after Metal Gear Solid 3 and before Peace Walker, so I probably should have played Peace Walker. But the whole chronological theory between Solid Snake, you know, with Solid Snake, and the whole age thing and David Gray, I don't know. I don't think age is a factor. Like, there's something else going on. There's got to be something else. I mean, Kojima could just make any excuse why David Hayter wouldn't be in this game. I mean, that sounds like an excuse that, I don't know, honestly, that kind of sounds lazy. Oh, I just wanted to get Kiefer Sutherland because he's an older actor and Snake is older. Even though I had David Hayter voicing like an 80-year-old Solid Snake. I know he wasn't really 80 years old. It's the fox dye and the fact that his genetic mutation or his genetic figure makes him age faster. It's like 4 times faster or some shit like that. And Naomi giving him the fox dye actually increased the speed. I'm sorry, not Naked Snake, Old Snake. That's what I meant to say. Old Snake. Sorry, I got that confused. Old Snake from Metal Gear Solid 4. David Hayter voiced. He voice acted all of them. He did all the voice acting for all of them. All of them. But you know, that's my theory. I mean, you know, guys, I'm not here to argue or anything like that. I'm just giving my own personal opinion. I respect your guys' opinion. If you know, if that's what you say, that's fine. I just miss David Hayter. I want him back, and I'm afraid we might never get him back again, which makes me really sad. It makes me sad. It makes me really sad because not only is he Solid Snake, you know, just coming from a fan's perspective, but Solid Snake, his voice is so intertwined with the character that, you know, his Solid Snake's voice is used not just in the Metal Gear Solid games, but it's referenced in pop culture in general. It's referenced to other video games. You hear people say, you know, "Oh, this is Snake." I can't do a Solid Snake impersonation, but his figure, his voice, everything that David Hayter put into Solid Snake, that he represents Solid Snake, and that it intertwines with pop culture, American culture, westernized culture, and stuff like that. It just makes me sad that he's gone, and we got Kiefer Sutherland out of fucking nowhere. Honestly, I have no idea why the fuck they selected him out of all people. Like, why Kiefer Sutherland? You could have got like Gary Oldman. He probably could have done a better Solid Snake. I already talked about this. You could have got Ego Raptor. I mean, he does Solid Snake as well. Not as good as David Hayter, but he does a damn good Solid Snake. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. And the more I talk about it, the angrier I get. I mean, if you think about it, there's not that in video game culture. There's not that many actors that you can think of. I mean, besides Steve Blum, because he's in fucking everything. But there's not that many voice actors that you can think of that, boom, when you think of them, you think of that character. You think of Solid Snake. You know? Anyway, let's get back to the tapes. I'm gonna officially name this video on YouTube Backstory Debriefing Rant Video. Backstory Debriefing Tapes Rant Video. Where the fuck is David Hayter? You haters of voice acting, Konami. Konami, why do you hate David Hayter, you motherfuckers? Bring him back, or he's gonna sneak up behind you and stab your asses in the ass. All right, let's get on with it.
About the inspection. What do we tell the men?
The truth. What else? The one thing we don't need to worry about is anyone here spilling the beans about Zeke.
Good point. What about the Sandinistas? There's still quite a few of them left on the base.
I hate to say it, but it won't look good having Soviet bloc personnel here. The problem is, moving a group that size in a hurry would look even worse.
At least Amanda's on assignment in Cuba. They'd recognize her. She should stay put for now.
All civilians save Huey will have to return to their countries.
Even your Parisian.
Of course, we'll get her whatever paper she needs. Dr. Strangelove's departure came at a perfect time. The less Zeke-related staff here, the better.
Wait, she left?
That's right. You were away on a mission. She left last week. There's nothing cooking in AI weapons research, and Zeke is complete. There was really no reason for her to hang around.
I'm surprised Huey let her go that easy.
Yeah, his crush on Strangelove was never much of a secret, huh? He followed her everywhere while Zeke was in development. Boy, would she get pissed. But he does have a lot on his mind right now. I've got bigger issues to deal with. That's what he said.
That's the spirit, Huey.
10 days ago, we got reports that Paz was still alive.
She survived.
She was rescued by Belizean fishermen who found her drifting in the Caribbean.
So what's the plan? Silence her before we're compromised?
No. I've got something else in mind. Our friends at Cypher suspect Paz could be a double agent. She's being held for interrogation at a camp on the southern tip of Cuba.
Black site. Nice. A slice of American pie on communist soil, and out of U.S. legal jurisdiction.
The upcoming inspection of Mother Base has to be connected somehow. The timing's too perfect.
The UN's nuclear inspection.
My guess is they're trying to corroborate Paz's leak.
We're an army without a nation.
Word of our capabilities gets out, and we'll have the whole world out to shut us down. Having an American private intelligence agency involved's bad news. Cypher's the ones who sent Paz to us in the first place.
She knows
I knew
our
I fucking
nation.
should have played
Right.
Peace Walker, man.
Paz is
Son of a
already linked
bitch.
to Cypher. If she's still alive, we need her on our side. If not us, who else is gonna rescue that bitch?
When do we do it?
The inspection comes first. We'll deal with us afterwards.
Do the men know?
Word has started to spread. The information came from Cuba through Amanda. One of the base personnel used to belong to El Frente. I'll tell everyone we don't concern ourselves with the survival of enemy spies. We need them focused on the inspection. And if we get her back here and she isn't cooperative, there's still plenty of room for her in the ocean.
God damn.
For me.
It's
What about
fucking
Chico?
cruel, man.
He had a chance to stop Paz from hijacking Zeke and he blew it. He's carried that guilt ever since. Kid really did care about her.
Chico, it's hard to say how he'll react.
Have Amanda call him out to Cuba. He shouldn't be here right now.
Good idea. They haven't seen each other in a while. Little time with Big Sis and he'll forget all about you-know-who.
Man, Huey's a dick.
What? Still no sign of Chico?
What's going on?
It's Amanda in Cuba. Our resupply package arrived, but Chico wasn't with it. Relax, Amanda. I'm sure he's just exploring Havana or something. First time in the big city. Could have gotten carried away.
Cos, wait. The boat Chico was on, did it stop anywhere before it got to Havana?
Yeah, it had to refuel at Santiago de Cuba. You don't think... Oh, shit. You gotta be kidding me. He does this now?
It's 60 miles from Santiago to the prison camp. Chico used to cross the mountains with the older Sandinistas like it was nothing. He'll make that in 3 days.
Still, even if he does find his way there.
You know how reckless he can be. Chico thinks we've abandoned Paz. That's why he's doing this.
We'll start by having the intel detachment in Cuba look for him. We can't let him be captured.
I have the HD collection for PS3. I just haven't got around to playing Peace Walker yet.
Just to the east of a big building. East an old grassy facility. That's where we are. Help me, Snake.
It's a setup.
We have no choice.
Yeah, if Chico talks, he could blow the new cover up. We can't hold off until the inspection's over.
When can we be ready?
It'll take at least 16 hours to confirm the flight path and prep a bird. The intel unit has started reconning the area.
Sounds like I'll have to miss the inspection.
Boss, we'll just have to send someone else to get them out.
No. I'll go.
Yeah, Chico and Paz would only take orders from you anyway. We can't go taking on those Marines at the base head on. It's got to be off the radar, and it's got to be you.
Hold down the fort, Koss.
Snake, you can forget about civil liberties where you're headed. God only knows what they'd do to you if you got caught. Do not let that happen. The Cubans leased the land to the U.S. as a gesture for helping them gain independence from Spain. The deal remains in effect until both countries agree to dissolve it, or the U.S. abandons the land. That's why America still operates the base even after La Revolucion. Problem is, it's leased land.
Meaning it isn't American soil, so the U.S. Constitution doesn't apply there. That allows them to withhold its civil rights protections.
Yeah, that's Uncle Sam's excuse. The area was originally only for detaining refugees from countries like Cuba and Haiti. But a few years ago, the CIA and its like started using it as a black site. Enemies of the state are renditioned there and
Oh, that's
subjected
cool.
to extreme forms of interrogation. You can bet Cypher had a hand in that. As you'd expect, American and other Western human rights organizations aren't allowed anywhere near the place. What happens there disappears down the memory hole.
Who knows what they're doing to Chico and Paz?
I'd like to interrogate her ourselves, but if worst comes to worst, make sure she's dead. Chico, on the other hand, we have to bring back, fast. He knows too much about us.
Koss?
The area is surrounded by mines placed by both the US and Cuba, making escape on foot impossible. You're heading into the lion's den, Snake. Don't take this one lightly. Come back in one piece.
Yeah.
Alright, that's interesting. That's really interesting, because now, I didn't realize the gravity that Chico and Paz have on the story. Probably would have made more sense if I played Peace Walker first, obviously, but, I thought they were just two kids, you know? Who fucking knew that, these kids know so much information about, Snake and his group or organization that he belongs to. That's fucked up, man. Just throw her ass in the ocean. God damn, dude. My contact's a dick. I like how, I think it was part 2, the briefing. It sounded like a young Otacon. It's kind of funny. Throughout the entire series, his voice is like never changed. We want to talk about voice acting. The fucking... I can't remember the actor who plays Otacon, the voice actor, but like every single iteration of Otacon has never really changed. It's always been the same kind of voice. I guess he never dropped his Otacon balls. They've always been wedged up in there. But then again, he does piss himself in front of ninjas, so he's always been kind of a... I want to say a wuss, but he's always been kind of a scaredy cat. Oh, cool. I got a new follower. Thanks to EL_B for following me on Twitch. Thank you very much, man. Christopher Lloyd? No. Christopher Lloyd is Doc Brown from Back to the Future. Probably Christopher something, though. The first name sounds right. Have I collected all the tapes? I don't think so. I'm just, these are the main tapes. I don't think I collected all the tapes. What do I got here? Oh, Paz's Diary. Oh. We'll listen to those next. Let's listen to these.
I heard about Paz's tapes.
Yeah. Why do you think she'd leave him behind? And that diary?
Whatever it was, her commitment was wavering. That much is clear.
So she was leaving clues to help us.
No way to know for sure. And the ocean's not giving her back.
November 4th, 1974. At the outskirts of Barranquilla, Colombia. Contact with Big Boss successful. Zadornov posed as my professor, but Big Boss took one look and knew he was KGB. However, he does not seem to suspect me. To him, I am just a peace-loving student, and another victim of the CIA. We asked him to drive the CIA out of Costa Rica. To him, this means betraying his country. His forces are smaller than anticipated, They drift from place to place with nowhere to call home. That provided us an opportunity, so we seized it. Zadornov offered them a plant off the Costa Rican coast to use as a base. As expected, Miller jumped at the chance. Although initially reluctant, Big Boss came around when Zadornov played him the tape. All because the voice on it sounded like his mentor, the boss. Naked Snake, the man who once saved the world from the brink of nuclear war. Awarded the title of Big Boss for his service. He later became a mercenary, abandoning both his title and his country. To him, that honor was steeped in the blood of the boss, the mentor he was forced to eliminate. Exceptionally charismatic, he possesses unparalleled combat and intelligence gathering abilities. His only discernible weakness is her. This operation hinges on how effectively we can exploit that. Kazuhira Miller is Big Boss's lieutenant. Half Japanese, half American. He once served in Japan's self-defense force. Though he and Snake first met as enemies, they discovered a common bond and together built their private army, with Miller directing business and administrative affairs. He comes off as shallow, but his true intent is hard to read. I must be careful. All that is clear is his infatuation with Big Boss. With East and West fighting over its control, Central America is now the most contested region on Earth. CIA Central American Station Chief Coldman has developed Peace Walker, a fully AI automated, fail-deadly nuclear launch system with which he aims to reignite the Cold War. Snake's new objective in Costa Rica is to prevent that. Zadornov's, or should I say, the KGB's plan is to play the two sides against each other, turning the entire region red. Not one of the three parties realize they're all just pawns in Cypher's hands. Cypher watches all.
Oh yeah, he watches all.
Mother Base has developed rapidly since being established in the Caribbean Sea. They recruit more personnel daily, and already their mercenary services are turning a profit. Big Boss's leadership and charisma, and Miller's business acumen drive this impressive growth. Further, the forces with a faction of the FSLN has expanded their power even more. They have even commenced their own weapons development program. All is proceeding according to Cypher's will.
You guys are crazy. S rank on all of them? Damn, that's insane.
Snake's pursuit of Peace Walker led him to an AI modeled after the boss's thought patterns. It was incomplete, but somewhat ironically, making contact with Snake was the necessary.
I think I only have 23% done.
Meanwhile, the scientist behind Peace Walker's
Or
locomotive
27%.
control Huey defected
But I haven't
Snake's
played
army.
this game on hard mode at all.
His presence has greatly accelerated weapons development at Mother Base. I failed to anticipate Coldman's madness, but nuclear war was averted. However, this was only after the boss AI on board Peace Walker sank itself to the bottom of the lake in what could be likened to suicide. The boss laid down her gun, choosing to sing for peace instead, and Snake, himself a gun, parted ways with her. In doing so, he reclaimed the title he once abandoned. He is Big Boss. Zadornov has been detained. Since this leaves my cover identity without a guardian, the Mother Base staff has taken me in. I am now better placed than ever to monitor their internal affairs. Everything continues to unfold according to plan. The developer of the boss AI, Dr.
That's how I am with Resident Evil games. I always go for S rank or whatever the highest rank I can go. I need to start playing. I gotta show you guys some crazy stuff in Resident Evil.
Development on the bipedal weapon is now complete. They call it Metal Gear Zeke. It stands there like some sort of mystical guardian. The soldiers gaze on it with pride and reverence. Big Boss has elected to arm it with a nuclear weapon. As an army without a nation, They seem to feel the need for a deterrent against whatever the world might pit against them. It is a dangerous gamble. Why do such
Yeah, I believe I disabled Nightbots. You should be able to post the link. I'm not too sure. Just try if you can. I mean, if you can't, then I'll make it so that you can post the link.
If they were to go public with this, the whole world would unite against them. Business would dry up overnight. So they do not plan on revealing the nuke until necessary. This ace-in-the-hole approach is their idea of a nuclear strategy. Wielding a deterrent, all the while unable to reveal its existence. I wonder if Snake sees how vulnerable this makes them. Yes. Hijack Zeke? Yes, I did.
Okay, apparently my Nightbot was still on. Shit.
I cannot imagine
Sorry.
disagreeing with that now. But did you not raise them to safeguard your governance without borders?
T-Virus got you, yes.
No.
Hold on. Let me get through let's get through these diaries first. And then I'll allow you to post a link on the YouTubes. Alright, it's the last one anyway.
No, I have not forgotten what you said. However, well, forgive me for asking, but this is you I am.
You guys like that?
Isn't it?
I made it myself.
I will fight Big Boss. The world must be ruled by a single will. To defy Cypher is a fate worse than death.
Shut up, bitch! Alright, so apparently she knows a lot of information about Snake's history, where he's going, and what his objectives are. Especially with his tie-in to Peace Walker. That's crazy, dude. I don't know if you guys played Peace Walker, but apparently, like, the whole Peace Walker was a code name for a nuclear weapon, a Metal Gear that was used. And the AI was supposedly modeled after the boss. Like, after the Big Boss's mentor from Metal Gear Solid 3, the boss. So that makes me want to play Peace Walker even more, man. There must be some crazy shit that goes on in that game. Alright, hold on. Let me allow someone on Twitch to post the link. Hold on. Not too sure if I did it correctly. Try. Hold on. Alright, try post the link now. Alright, getting ready for the next tapes, you guys. I'm sorry you got infected with the T-Virus, man. You're gonna have to find a vaccine. But don't worry. You can just go to the top of the attic with 3 different types of chemicals. You're gonna have to extract the blood from Tyrant, but there's a shock mechanism at the bottom floor on the ceiling that you can use. Just hit the switch when Tyrant comes, shock him, extract his blood, go to the top into the attic. There's a little machine, you can make a vaccine and you can cure yourself. I learned that from Resident Evil Outbreak File 1. Trust me, it'll work. Oh, seriously? It infected you again. What the hell? I said allow. How do I allow a user? Alright, let me look up the command. I forgot how to allow someone to post the link. Hold on. Okay, you gotta use an exclamation point. Okay, I figured it out. Oh, shit. Alright, hold on. There you go. Alright, now you can post the link. EL_B. Sorry about that. I forgot the command. I thought it was /allow and then your username. Apparently exclamation point allow. So you can post the link now. Sorry about that. Alright, Paz's diary. What do we got? We got 10 days. That's all I got, you guys, so we'll try these.
As of today, I will be living here at Mother Base. Now my real trial begins. Zadornov was paying my room, board, and tuition, but he has since been captured. I told the man that with no more money from the KGB, I could no longer afford school. He bought my story, and when I said I would be willing to work, he took pity on me and let me stay. For some reason, Miller really pled my case. That was helpful, but the man is still a fool. His men are no better. They think their training makes them strong, but that kind of strength is nothing in the face of true power. And better yet, they wait on me hand and foot, believing I am just a schoolgirl. Looks like I won't be working too hard after all. Just today, while scouting out the living quarters, I saw a group of them in the corner of the deck making a fuss. Going over for a look, I saw they were feeding a kitten. A bunch of grown hard men, and they're the ones acting like schoolgirls. Look, isn't he cute? What is wrong with them? Disgusted, I just nodded and smiled. I must stay in character after all. I indulged their chit-chat for a few moments. Then one of them asked me to give the thing a name. They had just taken it from its mother. I named it Nuke. I improvised some nonsense about how our compassion for living things can help prevent wars. The men gave me a little fish. I held it out in my palm and the kitten happily ate it up. What a pathetic, feeble creature. It sickens me. Today, Chico invited me to go fishing with the soldiers. I suppose finding one's own food does have its merit, but I prefer not to be involved in such a degrading task. And their prattling on about fishing being fun is nonsense. I'm not here to find playmates. Nevertheless, distasteful as it was, I went along in order to maintain my cover. Chico thrust a fishing pole into my hands, and we went up onto the deck where several soldiers had gathered. They welcomed us warmly. With so few women aboard Mother Base, I'm treated like a princess. No one suspects I am neither a teenager nor a student. It was nice and sunny, with a gentle breeze and waves. As I cast my line and waited for a bite, the soldiers began to ask me all sorts of questions. As always, I answered according to our predefined scenario, feigning a smile. As I sat there feeding them lies, the fish began to bite, and the soldiers began to focus on their prey. Chico had his bait stolen
He's
by
not
a fish
banned.
and got so
I checked
angry
my
that
ban
he
list.
stood
He
up
shouldn't
and
be
nearly fell
banned.
into the sea. Everybody laughed. It almost made me want to join in too. At some point, I got a bite myself. The instant after I felt that first gentle tug, the fish yanked the line with astonishing strength, and I let out a cry of surprise. I thought he was going to be huge. It was my first time fishing, and I was a bit flustered, so the soldier beside me helped by supporting the pole from behind. "Reel it in," they shouted. I nodded, turning the handle as fast as I could. I wondered what kind of fish lived below the surface, and thought back to the deep sea dives I had to do as part of training. Those were difficult days. but I remember finding the multicolored fish gliding through the water incredibly soothing. After a hard fight, I pulled it up. To my surprise, it wasn't even half a vara, rather anticlimactic. But I wasn't doing it for fun, so I wasn't the least bit disappointed. Nook was hovering nearby with an expectant look on his face, so I gave the fish to him. All in all, a thoroughly wasted day. Preparations are coming along nicely. No one suspects me of being the one to let Zadarnov out of his cell. Today, Amanda and I taught Cecile how to make gallo pinto. It is a simple home-cooked dish consisting of black frijoles mixed with arroz. It is well known throughout Central America, not just in Costa Rica, so it is no surprise that a Nica like Amanda would be good at making it. But I was raised in the States from a very young age, and could hardly even remember my mother's gallo pinto. Having to make chit-chat with that clueless bird lover and the so-called revolutionary was excruciating. And, clueless or not, I will need to be especially careful around Cecile, the one who actually recorded that tape. Thankfully, Miller and his men seemed to believe I mistook the tape I found for one my friend made. In any case, one can never be too careful. Anyway, the three of us minced garlic and herbs, then cooked them in a pot with frijoles we'd soaked overnight. While waiting for them to cook, we sautéed onions and arroz in a frying pan. Cecile worked the frying pan according to Amanda's directions, but seemed a bit glum. She does have a knack for cooking, though. She is French, after all. We added water to the pan and watched the arroz begin to steam. While we waited, Amanda shared memories of her mother with us. They had been separated because of Simosa, but the taste of her mother's cooking was still fresh in her mind. When the frijoles were ready, we drained the water, stir-frying them with the rest of the vegetables. Quite a complicated process for home cooking. Nonetheless, it kept them occupied. The longer we sat and talked, the greater the chance of my arousing their suspicions. With women, it is not enough to just bat your eyelashes and giggle. It takes a lot of effort to divert attention. When the arroz was done cooking, we folded it into the frijoles and added salsa, stirring the mixture as it simmered. At this point, for some reason, the conversation turned to romance. Why does it have to be that way whenever women get together and chat? Cecile fancies herself to be well-versed in such matters, and gave Amanda all sorts of advice. It was harmless enough, until, to my irritation, she began pestering me whether there was anybody I liked. Not right now, I said, trying to dodge the question. But she pressed on. It's Snake, isn't it? I gritted my teeth and played it coy. Maybe. Cecile nodded and giggled. He is pretty sexy, isn't he? What a ditz. It's all I can manage to just survive. The thought of romance has never once crossed my mind. I have no interest in that kind of man. Soon enough, a rich aroma began to fill the room. The gallo pinto was ready. New came over and rubbed up against our legs, looking for a handout. Unfortunately, it was not the kind of food a cat would like. We let a few of the soldiers have a bite, and then headed off to the mess hall. The home-cooked flavor we'd achieved was a big hit with the men of MSF. Not that we are trying to impress them or anything. Even I could manage a dish like that. Snake enjoyed it too. Let me make this absolutely clear. I have no interest in that man. Football, or soccer as it is known in the States, is extremely popular here. It has not caught on yet in the US, but it has legions of rabid fans all across Latin America. These fans can get so rowdy that it is commonly believed El Salvador and Honduras went to war in 1969 over scuffles in a soccer match. In reality, tensions between the two countries were already high. The match was merely one of the sparks that set them off. But these people are so passionate about this sport that the story seems plausible. Predictably, many of the soldiers here are fans. They have apparently divided themselves into Costa Rican and Nicaraguan teams and started playing each other. To play, you need a ball and 2 goals. The R&D team built and set up simple goals on the deck. I had absolutely no interest, but Chico insisted that I come and watch. It was not a proper match by any means. The pitch was not even regulation size, but the players and spectators alike got pretty excited. They banged empty cans and shouted cheers through the handmade megaphones. It almost felt like carnival. Huey, the referee, blew a whistle to start the match. The soldiers' training has left them in excellent physical shape, but they lack the honed skills of professionals and their play was quite rough. Midway through, one of the men collided with another. They started shouting at one another, but Huey stepped in. "I thought we had forsaken our countries, become one with the earth," he said, quoting Snake. "We are not competing for national pride here, and we are not fighting for the good of any one country. This is not a war. Soccer is a peaceful sport, am I right?" The soldiers nodded. They know the pain of war, and they share Snake's vision. Perhaps that is why all this resonates with them. Team Costa Rica was down a man, and somehow I was picked to fill in. Costa Rica had the advantage up until that point. I suppose Huey wanted to keep it balanced. The soldiers agreed with Huey's call. Maybe the Costa Rican players felt an even matchup would be more fun too. I could not be bothered to run at first, but chasing the ball out there in the hot sun, I was soon drenched in sweat. Before long, I found myself actively seeking out the ball, partially out of desperation. I picked up a loose ball deep on the opponent's side of the field. Even though he's Nicaraguan, Chico cheered me on, yelling, "Go for it, shoot!" I launched the ball as hard as I could, only to have it blocked by the keeper. Disappointment only increased my determination. In the end, I didn't score a single goal, and Costa Rica gave up its lead. It was really close though. We congratulated each other on a good match and sprawled out in the shade on the deck, exhausted. The ocean breeze felt so nice on my sun-soaked body. Nuke came over. It is one of his favorite spots, and stretched out next to me. And together, we watched fluffy white clouds drift lazily across the clear blue sky. It was lovely out today, so I decided to sun myself in a lounge chair up on the deck when Strangelove came up to me. Despite the heat, she was in her usual long sleeves and pants. I waved at her. She looked away and mumbled, "Hello there. Fancy meeting you here." I asked if she needed anything, feeling her eyes creeping up and down my body like she was savoring it. Finally, she swallowed and said, "You have such beautiful skin." Bewildered, I shook my head and said, "No, not at all." I had heard rumors that she was a lesbian, but she couldn't be after me, could she? She continued to stare and said, "No, it is beautiful, but you must not let yourself get so tanned." And then she took my hand in hers. "What is wrong with a little sun?" I asked, trying to cut the conversation short. But she shook her head violently. "No, you mustn't. A young lady should take better care of her skin." She was acting strangely now, as if aroused. She lectured me on the perils of tanning, how it ages skin, causing wrinkles and spots, and in the worst cases, even skin cancer. I knew already that tanning could cause spots, but I thought only pale-skinned Anglo-Saxons had to deal with that. Having a scientist tell me it causes aging, though, that spooked me a little. If I am to keep playing the teenager, I will have to start paying more attention to my skin. Sensing my anxiety, she took a small tube from her pocket. She said it was the sunscreen she always used. She told me to keep it. I didn't know what to say. I was more than happy to take it, but exactly what were her intentions? Was she merely being nice? Or is she really into me? Either way, there was no reason to refuse, I suppose. I have undergone training. An out-of-shape woman does not pose any real threat to me. Having power means not being afraid. It is the same on a global scale. A country with nukes can dictate terms to a country without them. I thanked her and took the tube. Then she offered to put some on for me. She squirted some lotion onto her fingers and began rolling it into my chest. It happened so suddenly, and I was so taken aback that I did not even think to protest. She caressed my stomach with her long white fingers, then slid them upwards between my bikini-clad breasts.
Oh my, where are we going with this?
Wait, I sputtered as her moist eyes met mine. She was beautiful. Somehow, I found myself captivated by this woman more than 10 years my elder. Hold still, she whispered in my ear. I nodded silently, unable to refuse. My body went limp, motionless, as if in a trance. Gently,
Oh
carefully,
my.
she rubbed the lotion all over
What
my
the fuck?
entire body.
This is turning into Metal Gear Solid pornos. Solid AAA porn.
I was spellbound. That woman is dangerous. I had better watch myself. Protecting one's health is an important part of any agent's job. But despite my best efforts, I have caught a cold. Now that I think about it, Mother Base's numbers are on the rise, with soldiers coming from all different places and backgrounds. It is no wonder then that sooner or later someone would bring in a virus. That said, what I have got is just a common cold. The medical team said I'd need a few days rest, so I've been restricted to my room and put on bed rest. I thought I'd gotten used to not having anyone around to relate to, but at times like these, being alone is just miserable. All I could do was lay there and stroke Nuke's back, trying to take my mind off how bad I felt. Nuke just sat there, not making a sound. But I did have visitors. Amanda and Chico, Huey, Cecile, Miller, and a few of the soldiers I've become relatively close to. Amanda made me a soup with herbs she said were good for a cold. Miller told me to take it easy. I will sing you a lullaby, he said, then broke out a guitar and sang some incomprehensible song in Japanese. I did not need to understand the lyrics to know he is an awful singer. Then he said, "You know what is good for a cold? Suppositories. Here, I'll show you."
What the
He began
fuck?
to take off his pants, so I threw my tissue box at him to make him go
No!
away. Then, Strangelove showed up, saying she had
No,
some
I don't want to hear about
in
pills
me.
going up someone's ass to
It is
make them
called
relax.
eucalyptus
No.
extract, she said. It works best if you rub it into your chest.
What
And
the
then
fuck is
she
wrong?
tried to
What
take
is
off
going
my
on with this game
nightshirt.
now?
I whacked her with my pillow, and I got rid of her. Chico brought me a little flower in a cup. It had been growing in a little bit of earth that probably found its way on board, stuck to something else. I found this on the deck. Here, you can have it. He tried to act nonchalant, but I am pretty sure he's got a crush on me. None of them understand. If they thought these little visits would cheer me up, they were wrong. Tonight, Snake himself came to my room. Like the rest, he believes I am just a schoolgirl and treats me as such. Why did you abandon your country? I asked him. Why create the MSF? Of course, I knew the answers already, but I wanted to hear it from him. As I had imagined, he was not exactly forthcoming. All he would say is that his country abandoned him because all he could do was fight, and that is why he needed the MSF, because that is all he is any good for. Then he said, "Fighting is the only thing I understand, but that does not mean I have got a grudge against those who believe in peace. I am not one of them, and I do not believe in peace. Conflict is in man's nature. We fight our enemies in order to survive. Maybe we are not so different after all, he and I. But that is exactly why I'm going to have to kill him, or else he will have to kill me. When I stop and think about this wretched existence. Being killed by a man like that suddenly does not seem like such a bad thing. Every month, Mother Base throws a party for all the soldiers whose birthdays fall in that month. There is something strange about a military organization having parties. Really though, it is just an excuse to drink and make noise. It is not easy to get alcohol on a fortress in the middle of the ocean. Most days they are training from dawn till dusk. They do not have time for things like drinking. That is why Snake and Miller came up with the idea, to give everyone a chance to let loose. Obviously, a bunch of boors like that are not going to bother with blowing out candles on a cake. Rather, they sit there in a cloud of cigarette smoke, drink beer, eat meat, tell tasteless jokes, and swap crude insults
Welcome
about
back,
one another's hometowns.
ELB.
But it hardly ever breaks out into something serious.
Sorry that you were banned,
They
dude.
talk up a storm, but they're just
I think Nightbot just acts.
It is true. You have got years of FSLN robbing shows
Nightbot
and
just
leading
automatically
CRPs.
banned you.
People who once would have considered the other
Do you still
want
want to post a link?
I wonder if that is what makes Big Boss so popular. In leaving their countries behind, they leave their hatred for other countries too. Miller seemed a little protective of me. Hope they're not being too crude, he said. But soon enough, he too was drunk. He yelled, "Come here and take a look at the real Kazuhira Miller." Then dropped his pants and mooned everybody.
What the fuck?
The other soldiers burst out laughing. I have never seen such a crude, ridiculous party before. And yet, all these people, laughing and acting the fool. Is this what they call peace? For some reason, I began to think about all that has happened since I came here. Fishing with Chico, cooking with Amanda and Cecile, playing soccer, having visitors when I caught a cold. When I stop and think about it, my time here has been the most peaceful of my life. But that is about to end. I cannot imagine he will be willing to negotiate. It seems I am to fight the legendary Big Boss. I do not know if I'll be able to beat him. But if I have to choose between death and defying Cypher, I will gladly choose death. The thought of dying does not scare me. But if I disobey my orders, the fear and despair awaiting me will be far worse than anything I can imagine. It was Cypher who took me in as an orphan, gave me food and a place to live. His orders may have been unreasonable, but I will never repay my debt entirely. It seems I have no choice. I must fight this man. I must fight Snake. Do you know Miller? Snake's right-hand man. Apparently has got at least one serious weakness. He is an insatiable womanizer. He does not bother me, most likely because he considers teenagers off limits. But he has hit on every single one of the few female soldiers here at Mother Base. They ought to be telling him where to stick it, but end up falling for it so easily. I think some of it stems from the fact that he is actually not that bad looking. Anyway, today, that nasty habit got him in trouble. He and Snake got into one of their rare fights, and I was there to see it. They burst out of the showers, completely naked, trading punches.
This bitch is all about fucking
but this was something else.
crazy ass sexy time shit.
Snake yelled as he slammed his fists into Miller's chest. I heard later that apparently he'd been two-timing someone, and that same someone had gone to Snake with her troubles. As I see it, it is her own fault for letting herself be deceived like that. If she is too dumb to see through Miller's lies, then she got what she deserved. But this was not the first time it had happened, or the second, and Snake read Miller the riot act. Miller argued back, and what began as a shouting match turned into a fist fight. "You son of a bitch," Miller yelled as he swung. "Not bad," said Snake, smiling, "but not good enough." And then he was back on the offensive. They had already been at it pretty hard in the showers, and their bodies were covered with bruises. Both of these men had been trained for war, their bodies deadly weapons. They were each bleeding from a dozen places. All this from a fist fight. Even so, it was far less gruesome than if they had given it their all. It was obvious that one of them would be dead were they fighting for real. Miller took another swing, yelling, "Try this then!" Snake parried, then responded in kind. But I could tell he was not aiming for anything.
What's
violent.
up, Super Batcat?
"You are one tough bastard, boss," Miller muttered. A smile crept across his face as he caught his breath. And then they went right on fighting. Blood and sweat flew off their glistening bodies.
Oh my
It was
god.
combat without hatred or hostile intent. I had never seen violence like this before. And yet, it was more than just a friendly tussle. They were utilizing every technique they knew. It was not a sporting match. They were not playing by the rules. How could they keep this up? At last, the two men
Oh, I know how
tired
he
themselves
could keep it up.
and the bizarre scene came to an end. They looked at each other's battered bodies, and then burst out laughing, embracing and congratulating each other on a good fight. It all seemed so idiotic. I still cannot fathom such behavior. But somehow, I got the sense that for all his womanizing, Miller really only trusted one person, and that was Snake. There was no way I could ever come between the two of them. And at that thought, I began to feel as if I had lost. All of Mother Base is preparing for a festival. Since Snake and his soldiers spend so much time fighting, they are setting aside one day a year for peace and relaxation. I do not know all the details, but apparently that is what Snake and Miller decided. These soldiers love the idea, of course. There is so little fun to be had here that everybody looks forward to events like these. That is all well and good, but somehow I got roped into getting on stage. "Come on, we even both have peace in our name," said Miller. "And Zadarnov, that old Ruski's name, has something to do with peace too, right? Hey, as long as we're having a day of peace, we ought to get an act together. The Three-Piece Band." I thought he was joking. He then proceeded to share his idea without bothering to check with me. And now, I am slated to sing.
Sorry, I'm yawning, you guys.
Apparently, he had heard me on the deck one day, and since then he's wanted to form a band. Everybody's looking forward to it, so there is no way for me to back out now. I have never done anything like this, but it does feel kind of nice to know that people are looking forward to it. I mean, it cannot be any worse than Miller's singing. But modifications to Zeke are already finalized, and I must complete my mission. Betray Cypher now, and I will face a fate far worse than death. Still, there's no need to put things in motion just yet. What difference would it make to just wait a little while longer? A whole day of peace. The mission can wait until after that. Can it not? I know I am only delaying the inevitable. When the day comes,
There's a
one of
storm
us
going
will
on?
have to die. Snake or me. But still, if I could just come up with some way to stall Cypher, at least until our day of peace. When did I start having thoughts like this? My cover is blown.
Alright, last one.
They know nothing of Cypher or my true objective, but they know I am a spy. There is no more time left. I must act now. I must complete my mission. How did it come to this? All I wanted was 3 more days. Just 3. Miller's already finished writing the song. It is called Love Deterrent. It is about a girl who cannot express her true feelings. I've been practicing. I am no pro, but I was pretty sure I would do a decent job. And now this. Cypher found out that Zeke was complete. He must have someone inside Mother Base besides me, spinning his tightly wound web of control, leaving no room for individual will. Typical. When they found out Zeke was complete, I was ordered to execute the operation immediately. If I was going to enjoy just one day of peace, I had to ensure the plan could not move forward. I tried to sabotage Zeke. I thought by damaging the drive system, they would have no choice but to delay their plans. I waited until midnight, and then snuck into the hangar. There would be trouble if it looked like sabotage. I selected one of the drive system's load-bearing parts and carefully worked to warp its shape. The leg's drive system requires a high degree of precision to operate. Even the smallest deviation would have done it. Then, Chico walked in. Maybe it was one of those nights where he could not sleep. In any case, he saw me, panicked, and took off running. It would have been easy to kill him, but I could not. I know he likes me. It is not as if I would ever have an interest in a child like him, but I could not pull the trigger. Not at him, not in the back. Will he tell them? Or is there a chance he will keep it a secret? Protect me? No. He knows now. Knows I am not who he thought I was. He ran without even questioning what I was doing. There is no chance he does not know. And soon, all I have built here will end. And if Cypher has another agent among them, if he finds out I tried to sabotage Zeke, this place will no longer be my heaven. Then it is settled. I make my move now. Chico walked in before my sabotage was complete, so Zeke should still be operational. It might not run at full speed or power, but I do not have time to fix that. Without Zeke, I do not have a chance in hell of winning. I must act fast before Chico sounds the alarm. I knew it would come to this. I just did not think it would be so soon. It is time, Zeke. Metal Gear Zeke. Activate.
No! Well, that was pretty crazy shit, man. So it goes to the diary of basically her beginnings in Peace Walker all the way to the end. Of course, there was some interesting, risque scenarios that were going on between Snake and Lieutenant Miller, apparently. Apparently they like to wash naked in the shower together and do wrestling. I'm not too sure if Snake does naked wrestling all the time, but anyway, very interesting to learn about Paz and what her role is in the story in all this. And I don't know, someday hopefully I'll be able to go back to Peace Walker and play that game and figure all this shit out. Let's see, is there anything else? I did the info, cassette tapes, we did these. Music. Alright, I think that's it, you guys. Wow. Even listening to all that, it's still at 27%. Alright, well, that's going to be it for Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. I played through the game all the way through normal. Of course, this is going to be part 1. Like I said, this is kind of like a prologue slash epilogue at the same time, because I ended up doing this after I beat the game. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoyed the backstory, the cassette tapes, all the audio log stuff, and hope you enjoyed my rant about the whole, my whole feelings about David Hayter. I'm not going to get into it again, but I think I spent well over enough time talking about my distaste to, what has happened for this game with Konami's decisions or Kojima's decisions, whoever the hell choices they are to have Keith Sutherland instead of David Hayter. Not going to get back into it. You guys know exactly how I feel. Anyway, so if you're watching this part 1 on YouTube, stay tuned for Ground Zeroes, which I will be part 2, or after this I'll be getting right into the game. And then also, if you're watching this as the last video, thank you for watching Ground Zeroes. If you're watching this on Twitch, thank you for joining me. And yeah, that will be it for Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Looking forward to the Phantom Pain, whenever the hell that's going to be coming out. I'm sure we'll get... I have a really good feeling it's going to come out sometime this year. If not, then next year, guaranteed. But hopefully it doesn't get delayed any further than that. Anyway, thank you for watching on Nemesis Gaming. If you're watching this on Twitch, thank you for joining me for Nemesis Gaming, and thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching this on my YouTube channel, Undead Nemesis. All right, hope you enjoy the playthrough, and I'll see you guys later.